Good morning, everybody. Welcome to Keep Your Power, brought to you by Promise Resource Network. Let's see. Today's topic is going to be perfectly imperfect. Perfectly imperfect. And I want to talk about that because I need to remember that imperfect is all right. Let me read the definition of perfect. Will somebody give a definition of perfect? What does that mean to you?
No errors, no mistakes.
Oh, no errors, no mistakes. Thank you. No flaws. Y'all are getting right into the dictionary.
I have everything together.
You smell, you smell perfect today.
Thank you.
Let's do imperfection. It's exactly what you all were saying. A fault, a blemish, or undesirable feature. A fault, a blemish, or undesirable feature. It's something that isn't quite right. Can we put it that way?
Mm-hmm.
Imperfection. What is imperfection? When you think of imperfection, what do you think of?
Not the norm, because sometimes it can be culturally like it's not. In Korean culture, I'm not saying anything about women over here getting their bodies modified. Like it's their imperfections. They seem like they need to be a certain way to fit a certain mold, but not realizing they're perfect just as they are. They make it do what they say they please, but it's this idea that I have the perfect body, I have the perfect. Even in apps, like you can have these filters where you can have a perfect skin and modify it, but when you get to reality, you look like you, and that's fine.
Yeah,
that's how you relate to people. Like, oh, you have a pimple, who cares? It happens.
We can have that physical imperfection, and it can affect self-confidence, can it? It can affect our self-esteem. It can affect all those things that we need to increase. Okay. So imperfection, a fault, blemish, or undesirable feature.
You can get a perfect score on a test and you get that one answer wrong. You're like, but dang it, but you didn't realize that all the answers you got right.
That's it.
What do you feed? I don't feed the things that I got wrong. What did I get right? Because that motivates me to continue to do what I did to get it right. But the imperfection, I can learn from that.
Society does that to us, doesn't it?
Mm-hmm.
This is wrong, and this is right. When we get that paper from the teacher, plus 99. Shit. Right? That one point, I don't look at the wonderful things I'm doing. I look at the blemish, right? And I'm held back by that feature, that blemish, right? So when we're talking about physical, sometimes that's obvious and sometimes it's not. Some of us can feel very impaired about their bodies, and very dissatisfied, and it can make some people very, I don't want to say unwell, but very sad, Yeah. So besides physical, what do we got? Mental. All right. Tell me about mental imperfections.
Well, I'm Yvonne. I deal with mental illness. I'm bipolar. And I tend to get angry more than some. If I see someone taking advantage of somebody, if I feel like the situation is not right. And then sometimes I get mad when I don't get my way, or when I want things to go my way. Just because I'm doing something right doesn't mean that person's gonna be right. And so, but at the same time, I had to remember I was that person at one point. I did the things that I see others doing. So how dare I judge somebody for what they're doing, because I did it too.
That's perfect. We did it too. However, I'll judge your imperfection. If I can see it, I'll judge it. It's an instant thing brought on us by what we were taught, right? And that's good. We got to assess people. We got to judge people instantly. Is this a safe person or am I in danger? I've got to judge that. But beyond that, where we destroy people and their reputations. Yes, ma'am.
I'm starting to learn more is I'm starting to sit back from people. I'm trying to be distant, and I just watch their motives and what they're really about. Because if their walk don't add up with their talk,
that's that imperfection, isn't it? That's that imperfection. I appreciate that, Yvonne. Yeah. Who else wants to talk about imperfection? Yes.
Like me, I deal with certain mental health issues too as myself. And one of them I will say is schizophrenia. And when I feel threatened or I'm upset or I feel like somebody trying to hurt me or my friends or my family, I start wanting to protect.
Yeah.
But then I have to realize that I just can't do what I want to do at that moment. So therefore I know for a fact that I have to make some kind of changes or to try to do it more on a professional way than the way how I would have done it.
But when somebody imperfect comes to our family, people that we love, and I see I see the danger in them. I see the imperfection, and it scares me. Difference scares me. What I don't understand scares me, and that's where anger comes from. Yeah, Porter.
I said on my Facebook post, I said the absence of intimacy, and not like physical intimacy, like this us intimate right here. The absence of this causes most people to overvalue the opinions of others. If I lack absence of just getting people to know you as a person, and you get somebody's flaws when you get to know them as a person, they no longer become something that's like, oh, it could become a conversation now. But the absence of having these spaces where we can just have conversation and be intimate with one another, and just more social media, that's not intimate. On Facebook, I post things on Facebook. That is not for the world. But the absence of me valuing your opinion of what social media thinks, if I have this, I don't need that.
That's that mental. I'm a person with mental health issues. I have no shame in that. I am grateful that is part of my personality. Today. That's a good thing today. I want to read you a quote, okay? Imperfection is beauty. Madness is genius. And it's better to be absolutely ridiculous than absolutely boring. Marilyn Monroe. That's good, isn't it? The imperfection.
I got a Marilyn Monroe poster sitting on.
There you go. Who else? Talk about imperfection or body, mind, spirit. Anybody else on mind? Yeah. Nice and loud.
I didn't know until I got older because I was like Mr. Shire said, that place of that enemy would come out of me and I could control it. Like whatever was in my way, it was time to take care of that person. I was just like protecting my family. Certain things I like, I could smell.
Yeah.
I wasn't right about the person. Just sense their energy. And if the energy wasn't right for me, my mind was like, they think I'm talking to them being playing. You don't know I'm trying to cook you up in 5 seconds, get you out of here as quick as I can.
Yeah.
You think I'm sitting here talking to you, okay, man. The reality of my mind is trying to figure out how to take this one.
We have to assess our situation, don't we? I've got to figure out if I'm in danger or not. That is good, right? But if I carry that judgment to somebody's mental health issue or difficulty, which in my opinion, there are two kinds of people. Those that have been diagnosed and those that have yet to be diagnosed.
want some military guys there.
Yeah.
But the psychiatrist had told me, the things that we went through a lot of trauma. I said, like,
Yeah.
I don't remember.
Yeah.
Most kids had like, okay, mom, go home and play. My life came home different. You see what I'm saying? It wasn't no playing. I had to be a man at a certain age.
Yeah.
6 years old, 7 years old. I seen dark things. I experienced those things when I was a kid.
Those spiritual things can kick us too,
Like,
can't
I
they?
seen stuff that kids wouldn't see.
Yeah.
Now they exposed to them. Now they
Yeah.
expose everything. Back in those days, in the 70s and late 80s, I was exposed to a lot of different things as
Yeah.
a young man at 6, 7 years old.
When we get that trauma against us, those things that happen in our childhood, those things that happen in our adulthood, shit happens in this world. And if I can, you know what? I said, I am a proud person today. I'm not an egotistical person, but I'm a proud person today. I can stand tall because you look at me and you see an imperfection. I use that imperfection to get better, right? That's what we do.
Can I say something?
Yeah.
And I think for even with mental health, people, the conversation with mental health is a lot different than it was 20 years ago. Even celebrities coming out and admitting they have depression and bipolar. Now it's a conversation. Now it's not seen as such an imperfection. It's seen a human going through having a struggle, having something they're battling with, and they're giving empathy and grace. You see what Robin Williams had to experience by not having that ability to talk about what he had been going through and dealing with it in silence for so long. But that was the past, and now it's no longer that way. So that's no longer the profession. If we can realize that we are progressing,
Yes,
it may be slower.
I appreciate that we are getting that stigma lessened.
Like the fact that we can all sit here, even
Yes.
races, 50 years ago, we all would
not be here.
Talking about mental health.
No, talking about these things. No.
And I'm doing a podcast.
Yeah. It's a podcast. This is just anyway. Is this podcast? Anyway.
The fact that we can do this, and I'm giving grace to people that my people that came before me didn't have the opportunity to do this. Even people that are working at 9 to 5 don't have the opportunity to have these conversations.
You know what? It is when I walk through my imperfection, it hurts to go from difficulty through that phase to get to perfection, right? The difficulty in the middle, that's the part, right? Yeah. Self-esteem is very much affected.
I look good.
Oh,
From what I used to be,
Yes.
that part.
Yeah. And that being proud of that. That's cool.
And I'm
My
proud.
imperfection, you may not see it now because I don't draw attention to it. I'm not going, if I have a mark on my face, I do actually. So, but I don't give a shit anymore. Right? Oh, my sponsor had a shirt. God bless her. And it said, "What you think of me ain't my business." And I love that.
Even your happiness is my responsibility.
Yeah. What you think of me is not my business. Right? It's not that I don't care. It's just you're stepping where you don't need to be. Right. So let me see. We're cruising here. I got some ideas here that I got from a quote or a article. It says, "Imperfection is beautiful. Rainbows only come after the rain, and see what you're getting at." Rain, they always say that you got to have rain to have rainbows. And that is true. But damn, sometimes the rain is hard, isn't it? Sometimes it's a sprinkle, we can deal with that. Sometimes it's a hurricane. That's the shit right there. Right? And we take this imperfection and shift it. Right? We shift it. Imperfection can be beautiful. right? As we walk through this, I don't know about you, but and this is just how I do. I tell my higher power something little sprinkle. I'll tell my higher power, I got this. And big things I give up, but those little things I hold on to, thinking I can control them. And that imperfection being beautiful because it leads us, doesn't it? It motivates us. Imperfection helps us grow. We know that. I can't change. This is just me. I can't change till I hurt. That's just, some people can change. My higher power's got to hit me in the head. And often does. Sharon. We got Crystal on the line. Hi, Sharon in class. I feel there's a lot of imperfections in the world. I learned not only relationships are imperfection, but in my job. But I am proud what to do as a caregiver. But I remind my patients, nothing is perfect, but we strive and move forward to make it better. She says, I know I try to use the new positive word every day. Right? That can help with that rain. That rain. Sometimes it's a hurricane, right? I got to look for the perfection. Okay.
Can you change that word from perfection to something else? Is there something else to be?
How about growth?
Yeah.
How about recovery?
Yeah, there you go.
How about recovery? Because that perfectionism is a dangerous state of mind in an imperfect world. That is, we can step over the line, can't we? With that thought of I cannot be imperfect. I cannot be what I used to be. And I love it. I love that you put that word out there, recovery, because it is. Recovery helps us grow. Recovery, perfect. Being in recovery can help us work shorter hours. I don't know.
Who said
Imperfection
that?
makes space for acceptance. Acceptance. Imperfection makes space for acceptance. If I, like you said, if I go through something, I accept other people that are going through it a little easier because I've been there, right? I have a hard time. I'm calling him out on the Facebook. I've got a young man in my life who is dependent, is being enabled. And that acceptance is difficult because I see him spending money ain't his. I see him doing things that's disrespectful, right? I can't control that. And you know what? I'll tell you something. I was a child till I was 28 years old and got sober. I was a child, and I did the same things he's doing, and I can't judge him. And especially because everybody else is judging him. I can't do that. Yeah.
I think typically America's inability to accept its imperfect past is not allowing us to learn from it.
Yeah.
If we accept what happened in the past and accept and make it amends, this is what happened. Just tell the truth of it. This is what happened, and this is where we are now. It doesn't allow us to grow and see where we have grown or where we're going to go. How are we going to know where we're going if they're going to erase the past? The past was the past. The past was there for a reason to teach us.
Yes.
If we didn't learn it, we're going to repeat it. We don't need to repeat
that difficulty teaches, that hurricane teaches us.
You can't talk about racism to children. Why is that so difficult to you? Why is that so difficult?
If it's in a hurricane, if it's a light drizzle, things aren't too bad, right? There's a little bit that's going on with me, but not too bad. Well, shit, I lost it. So,
the hurricane.
Yeah, the hurricane. If there's a light drizzle, I can bring an umbrella because the last time there was a light drizzle, I didn't have one and I got all wet. I learned from an experience that didn't work for me, that imperfection of that experience. And a lot of times I am filled, when I come into recovery, I'm often filled with things that I think are blemishes, are faults in us, are things that don't look right, don't feel right. Walking through that, learning from it, like you said, both of you said, all of you said,
All of us.
learning from what I've gone through, right? I tell you, I've got to go through things about 3 or 4 times before I get to the point where I'm like, oh no, that's not going to work for me. But that's just me, right? Like I said, my higher power's got to hit me in the head. So learn from the issue. Learn from the stumble. How's that? Learn from the
I
stumble.
used to laugh. I still do laugh at people. Like if you go uptown and people watch, it's really not funny, but it is funny.
Mm-hmm.
Like if you just watch people, it don't look right. And I always said I was gonna make a YouTube page and put it on YouTube, but I don't know if I want to do that because that probably wouldn't.
I don't think it's set right. If I'm walking by, you take my picture and put it on there and say, look at her butt.
No, but people be talking to themselves. They be
Oh,
doing
yeah.
things, but you don't know what people are going through.
That's it.
You can't.
I don't know what
Yeah.
that blemish is,
Yeah.
right? I don't know what that thing. You don't
You
know.
don't know. You don't know.
So we got to be gentle.
You gotta be
I'm
careful.
walking
Yeah.
through my difficulties.
Yeah.
If you've been there before, help me. Help me. If you haven't, just accept that I am doing the best I can. I'm doing the best I can with what I got. Crystal says trial and error. Trial and error. What doesn't work, we can try next time.
Wow.
Right? Next time. We got to go. Imperfection can actually improve our self-esteem. Imperfection, difficulties. Because when I go through this, I am stronger.
Mm-hmm.
When I go through the hurricane, shit.
Give a testimony.
You can't touch me
You got
because
testimony.
I have walked through some stuff. All right. There's still some storms in there, but I've walked through some stuff.
I think.
Yeah.
In order
For
for you to
me,
go.
Hold on.
It's funny how my imperfections show up, and I can laugh at myself now. And how ignorant I really was, because especially during my addiction, because you couldn't tell me I had an issue, because every bill in my house paid money, this, that. But all of those things didn't matter, because once I got clean, I saw the mental and emotional damage that it did to my children.
Yeah.
They had everything material that they wanted, but they didn't have a mama.
Yeah.
I had my 3 youngest children taken from me. They're now 28, 32, and 40. And I told them from the beginning, when they got 18 and could see me, ain't no need to be mad at me. I handled a traumatic situation the only way I knew how. I got high as a fucking kite.
Hey, that's it. That's it. I medicate myself.
And then you get to the place where you look at how ignorant you was to yourself. That's when it comes back to why I say about looking in that mirror and being truthful with yourself.
That's it.
And so when I look back and I say, now you know you got to be the dumbest person
Oh.
to say to yourself, oh, shucks, I'm fine. They don't know what they talk about. I bet you'll be up here next week to borrow $20. That's the mentality that I had.
And now it's changed, and that's what's beautiful.
You
That's
look at
what's
me now,
beautiful.
And they look at me and they say, it's just something different about you. I said,
Yes.
I feel stupid. I'm just not stuck on stupid.
Right.
Ooh, I like that. I don't like the word stupid, but I like that. Because we're not stuck in that anymore. I'm not stuck with some of those difficulties I have taken care of. I have walked through. I got an umbrella today because I don't want to get wet anymore. I don't want to not take this opportunity to learn something, right?
Yeah.
Yeah,
that's-
hold on.
What you were saying is exactly true, because when you're in that kind of mind state of addict, you always have to think.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? You always have to think and hustle. Like if you got this, you want, oh, I'll get this, or I'll make some way to get what I need to get.
Yeah.
The addiction of, of an addict is to say anything, to get anything, and to hide shit from themselves. So you're really talking to yourself. When you see people talking to themselves, they're actually talking to themselves, trying to figure out what the hell's going on.
Yeah, that issue that.
Why I ain't got nowhere to sleep?
Yeah.
Why I'm sleeping on the street? They might be talking to God.
You said that we hide stuff from ourselves. I love that because I hid shit from myself and I'd see it and I'd be like, oh, look, a present. Yeah.
We gotta be balanced with good and evil.
Yes.
We want to know how much evil will take over the good. So it's always balanced. How will keep you balanced?
Can I tell the wolf story?
Oh, yeah.
Who hasn't heard the wolf story?
I want to hear it again.
Oh, okay. I'll tell it. Y'all
I like reading
sick
mine.
of it, but I love this story. An old man was sitting with his grandson and they were just talking about things. And the grandson says, why is there evil in the world? So many bad things, so many people doing terrible things. And the old man said, there are two wolves in us. One wolf is vicious and killing. Does his job is to kill and to kill our souls. That's what that wolf is for. And the other wolf is good, is blessed, is grateful. It knows how to fight the evil. And the kid said, which one wins? Which wolf wins? And the old man said, the one you feed. Feed a wolf, it'll grow. What I want to grow. What I don't want, I want to starve. Right? That's how I learned from imperfection.
Right.
Today, I don't want to be the one that didn't learn from it.
Yeah.
Right? I want to learn today. I want to be a part of something. Right? I love you guys. I appreciate you guys. Hold on, it's over. Oh, yeah, no. Hold on. Carrie said something. Oh, Carrie's here. Embrace the imperfections is what I had to do to learn myself because I'm different. God made me this way, and I just have to love me the way I am. I am good enough. Okay, hold on. On the count of three, hell with it. Do it as loud. Do it as loud as you want to. Not the F word. On the count of three. On the count of three, I want you to yell, I am worthy.
Okay.
1, 2, 3. I am worthy. Oh, that feels so good. That feels so good to me. All right, I want to shut you all down. Keep peace, share love. I love that we had some folks out there today giving us some input. You know I love you all. Keep peace, share love. Where's my ender? Well, there we go.